47. 4. Joe 3. 4. Zek 9. 2. Between the two cities was Zarephath, which belongs to Sidon, and where Elijah was fed by a widow during a prolonged famine. 1 Kai 17. 9. Bu 4. 25, 26. Originally Sidon was considered the end limit of the Canaanite nations. Ge 10. 19. After Joshua's conquest of the kings of northern Canaan, who has been pursued as far and as populous Sidon, the land was divided among the 9.5 tribes that had as yet received no allotment. At that time land under Sidon's control was yet remaining to be taken. Jos 11. 8. 13. 2, 6, 7. New 32. 33. Asher received the coastal plains immediately east of Sidon, and as has been prophesied, Zebulun's territory lay with his remote side toward Sidon, that is, in the end part of the promised land. Jos 19. 24, 28. Ge 49. 13. The Asherites, however, instead of driving the Sidonians out of their God-assigned territory, were content to settle down among them. Jg 1. 31, 32. 3. 1, 3. During the period of the Judges, the tribe of Dan annexed Laish, possibly a Sidonian colony, and renamed it Dan. The conquest was accomplished with apparent ease, for the people were quiet and unsuspecting, hence unprepared for the attack. Jg 18. 7, 27-29. Sidon is also mentioned in connection with the census taken in David's day. 2 24. 6. A port city favored with two of the few harbors on the Phoenician coast, Sidon became a great trading center where overland caravans met and exchanged their wares for goods brought in vessels plying the shipping lanes of the Mediterranean. Among the Sidonians were wealthy merchants, skilled sailors, and hardy rowers. Issa 23. 2. Compares 27. 8, 9. Sidonians were also famous for their craftsmanship in the manufacture of glass and in their weaving and dyeing of cloth. They were also noted for their ability as loggers and lumbermen. 1 Kai 5. 6. 1 Ch 22. 4. S 3. 7. Sidonian religion and its consequence. Religiously, the Sidonians were depraved. Lewd sex orgies in connection with the goddess Ashtaroth were a prominent part of their worship. The Israelites, allowing the Sidonians to remain among them, were eventually ensnared into worshipping their false gods. Jg 10. 6, 7, 11-13. Some of the foreign wives that Solomon married were Sidonians, and these caused the king to go after the disgusting fertility goddess Ashtaroth. O textoi acute muritra longo, sign 941. Majority Jews or proselytes. Mr. 3. 7, 8. Lu 6. 17. On his first trip to Rome as a prisoner, Paul was permitted to visit with the brothers in Sidon. Act 27. 1, 3. For reasons not stated by history, Herod Agrippa I was in a fighting mood against the Sidonians, who were supplied with food from the king. When a day was set for reconciling matters and the Sidonians were applauding Herod as speaking with a god's voice, and not a man's, Jehovah's angel struck him so that he was soon eaten up with worms. Act 12. 20-23. Sign. An object, act, situation, or unusual display that has significance as an indicator of something else, present or future. The sign Heb. Oath. Gr. Smiddle. Might be an evidence of authenticity or of authority, a warning of danger, or an indicator as to the wise course to follow. Among the many signs that Jehovah has provided for human guidance, the first mentioned as such are the heavenly luminaries, the sun and the moon. G1. 14. They are time indicators as well as visible signs of God's existence and qualities. PS 19. 1-4. Row 1. 19, 20. Evidently, because of looking to these luminaries as well as to the stars for omens, as by astrology, the nations have been struck with terror, as stated at Jeremiah 10. 2. Purposes of signs. Jehovah gave signs as an assurance of truthfulness and dependability of his words. J 44. 29. 1 so 2. 31-34. 10. 7, 9. 2 Chi 20. 8-11 They demonstrated God's backing of Moses or other servants x3. 11, 12. Compare JG 6. 17, 20-22, of an apostle 2 Co 12. 12, of the Christian congregation 1 Co 14. 22. Signs were not essential to prove God's backing, as is seen in the case of John the Baptizer. Joe 10. 41. Mount 11. 9-11 Also, a false prophet might perform a sign, but he could be identified as false by the means Jehovah provided. The 13. 1-5. 18. 20-22. Isra 44. 25. Mr. 13. 22. 2th2. 9. Re 13.